Fox 34 Football Friday, presented by Cardinal Sports Center. It's 10 o'clock, and it's time for Fox 34 Football Friday.
Yes, indeed. It's playoff time for the undefeated IDALOU Wildcats. Could they chalk up a win against FRIONA?
And Estacado has had a roller coaster season heading into the playoffs. Did the Matadors do enough to move on to the next round?
And Coronado looks to stay perfect in their toughest test of the year. It wasn't too tough. Did the Mustangs muster up another win? Well, let's find out. And welcome to Week 12 here on Football Friday. The playoffs are underway for Classes 1A through 4A. But first, we feature one of the better teams in Class 5A.
That's right, Herbie. Our game of the week is featuring unbeaten Coronado against Amarillo High that was billed to be one of the Mustangs' toughest matchups so far. Didn't turn out that way. Let's head out to Lowrey Field. Mustangs off to a quick start. There is Sawyer Robertson. The kid can flat out throw. He can flat out play. Hooking up with Corey Ferreira, 7-0. Stangs would take the early lead. Still in the first quarter, Coronado back in the red zone. Robertson to Eli Martinez. The route was on. 14-0. Amarillo could not get anything going tonight on offense. The ball is deflected, and then it'll be picked off by Isaiah Kelly, and the Mustang defense gets the turnover. Early second quarter now. CHS strikes again. Robertson again. He takes it at himself, and it's 21-0.
Is he even sweating?
I don't think
he makes
he
it look easy.
No,
yeah.
no. More from Coronado. Ready to play tonight. Play action. Robertson to Martinez. This one was all Coronado. Mustangs with the easy win tonight over Amarillo.
By the way, did you call me Herbie earlier?
Well,
I think you did.
It said it right on the script, actually.
Oh, right,
so
Herbie Verby. All right, I like that. Coronado keeps cruising through 5A, as we saw right there, Kurt.
They sure do, Herbie. And the Stangs are now 7-0. They have yet to break a sweat this season, as we just talked about. Our Brady King joins us now live from Lowrey Field. Brady, what did you see out there tonight?
Well, guys, it was the Coronado show again, as you all just saw. And yesterday, Coach Parr told us he didn't want his team to change a single thing tonight. And aside from running the ball a little bit more, it was the same thing we've seen all year. That crisp air raid offense just doing its thing behind Sawyer Robertson. And speaking of Robertson, he's a semifinalist for the Mr. Texas Football Award that was announced earlier this week. And he just keeps continuing to prove why. Tonight he threw for over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns in just the first half. And he has some good wide receivers out there, too. I'll give that to him. They've been steady all season. The Mustangs have outscored its opponents this year 355-60. Pretty impressive. Their defense was rock solid again tonight, forcing several 3-and-outs and 2 interceptions and allowing just 13 points. Easy game there for Coronado. And like you said, it doesn't even seem like they're sweating out there because I don't think they are. Up next, it'll be another one very similar, facing 1-6 Cap Rock. So, Rob, we were talking about this earlier, but it seems like they might not have a tough matchup until playoffs roll around. So we'll just have to see how things unfold, but fun group to watch for sure. With that, I'll send it back to you two in the studio.
Alrighty, nice hat. I love that stocking cap.
Yeah.
It's a party up in Paladuro. Lubbock High planning to wrangle the Dons. First quarter, quarterback Brandon Smith scrambling, but he falls to the blitz for a loss. It's an interesting way to phrase that. Next drive, the Westerners return the favor. Noel Marquez drops back, but he's sacked by Michael Ramirez. The Dons had to settle for a field goal for first blood. Remember those movies, Rambo?
I do remember those,
all
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Second quarter, Lubbock High driving again. Smith picked off this time by DeJohn Gilbreth. Heading up the sideline, he's finally forced out of bounds right there. At last check, this one a low-scoring affair. It happens, but the Westerners do drop a heartbreaker in this one, Kurt. A lot of scoring after we left. 27-20 was the final.
All right, undefeated IDALOU taking on FRIONA. There's your staged cheerleader shot. Thank you, ladies. Second quarter, Cats up 28-14. Jared Jack does a rough and tumble into the happy place. I could not do that myself, Rob. Same score, Chieftains not wanting to lay down. It is Brian Chivada to Brian Godinez, and here in 5 years, Mel Kiper should take a look at this guy. The same, watch him. I wasn't giving him due credit. There, he's still going. That's Batista. Yeah. That's Jacob Batista, too tough to take down, just like Bo Jackson did against the Seahawks Monday night in 1987. And the cheerleaders doing what they do.
That looks a little fancy
Not
right
staged
there.
that time, yeah. J Squared doing what he does here on the keeper, giving the Mean Green a 42-21 lead going into the locker room. Mean Green goes on to the next round. They get the W, 62-35.
Alrighty, we head out to the stadium in Floydada where the Abernathy Antelopes take on the Childress Bobcats. Abernathy would score first with a quarterback keeper, inches from the end zone, Jess Hoel for the score. Or it's Hole, I'm not quite sure. Childress would answer with a pass to Lamont Nickelberry for the touchdown. Childress would get the ball back on downs and take it down the field, sending another pass. And it's that guy again, Mr. Nickelberry, for another touchdown, putting Childress up 14-7. Abernathy would answer back with a pass play here, Anthony White, and that would tie the game up at 14 apiece. But Abernathy, well, they were not done. They would score again before recess. Scrambling pass here, Luke Houston, we do not have a problem. He's going to take the lead going into the half, 21-14, but they could not hold on. They fall tonight to Childress. Well, the final was 28-21.
All right, let's head up to Tulia now. It is Panhandle and Hale Center. There's your obligatory opening shot as they come onto the field. No score in the first quarter. Wesley Jones to Z Mercer, just like Randy Moss against the Cowboys. Thanksgiving 1998. The Panhandle Panthers party is popping. Look at that.
That looks like a raver, Kurt.
That is a party there. Red Raider legend Brian Duncan donning the stripes tonight, incidentally. Next drive, it would be Jones continuing to pick apart the Owls defense. There is a nice 9-yard gain right there. A shout out to the Hornets concession stand. No, they're not this week's champ, but they've been a Fox 34 favorite in the last 2 years. Hi guys, you're doing a fantastic job there. Jones continues to rack up fantasy points. Here on the keeper, he will put the Panthers up 14-0. This one, all Purple People Eaters, they advance a 55-7 win.
Alrighty, Denver City taking on Littlefield out at Lubbock Cooper. Mustangs marching down the field. God bless America, flea flicker action. Mario Sanchez finds the end zone on the trickeration. And that's quite trickery. The refs didn't like being fooled, so they called it back. Oh, I don't know about that. Same drive, second quarter. Sanchez still angry about the flea flicker. Takes it in himself for the score. Not calling that one back, 7-6 Denver City. Hear the horn?
I hear that.
I hear it.
Means he scored, yeah.
It does. Wildcats would respond, and quickly, shades of Forrest Gump.
Oh.
Dare I say. Jenny! They go for 2 and get it. Littlefield back on top. You know, life's like a box of chocolates.
It sure is. I've heard that before.
It really is, Kurt, but not for long. It's Mario Sanchez doing it all for the Mustangs, marching into the end zone. DC would trample the Wildcats 41-22.
And next, we're headed to Friendship's Tiger Stadium. LAMESA and DALHART taking center stage. The band would play on. Second half action. DALHART with the ball. Quarterback keeper Brennan Lloyd would fake the handoff, and he finds an opening, knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Very next play, Lloyd would finish what he started. He's in there like swimwear. I don't know what that's like, but it's good.
DALHART, Double T Speedo, $9.99.
DALHART up 28-8. They cruise like Tom does, 44-14.
Hey, you ever rock a Speedo back in the day, back in the 70s?
Actually, no.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot to do. Don't accuse me of that.
I don't know if this guy rocks a Speedo. That's Troy Chester, band director. Looks like he should be in the movie Dead Poet Society. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Kurt, come on.
Yeah,
Prompter.
that's it. I like that one. That's a good movie.
Okay, here come, go ahead, scroll up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay, here come the Mustangs, hand off to Cale Emery, 2-point conversion, no good, 6-0. Cowboys on the attack, shades of Tony Dorsett, I'm way behind. It's Marcos Vargas, big gain, that would set up this. Quarterback keeper, Cole Reynolds, no relation to Burt. He finds the end zone, 7-6 Plains. But Bovina would answer, check out Andrew Guevara. Nice run into the end zone, the pride of Palmer County takes this one, the final 19-7.
All right, now let's head back to regular season football. This is Sacred Heart versus Trinity Christian. First quarter, Davis Reeves would break away from defenders as he has the big gain right there, keeps his feet, dives ahead for a couple more. The drive would stall, though, set up a kick. It was not 2nd and 4. The Lions were up 3-0 in that game after the
Hey, we don't
goal.
write this stuff, okay? So send your hate mail to someone else.
A little bit later on, Lions with the ball again. Reeves with the rock roaring into the end zone. Trinity up 10-0.
The lights are going out.
Yeah, oh my gosh. But Sacred Heart would respond, quarterback keeper for the score. But that was it for the Tigers. Trinity topples Sacred Heart 39-6.
What's up with like the rave stuff going on tonight?
I don't know.
The lights flashing,
you
going in and
score
out.
And it's party time.
All you need is a double T Speedo and some glow stick skirt. There we go.
Down tonight.
Yeah. The Friendship Tigers take a tough loss at Abilene. They fall 42-7. That's sort of surprising.
Yeah.
Obviously not good for the Tigers. All righty. Still ahead on the show. I promise no Speedos. How a senior leader is motivating that Tech defense. There's only 3 games left.
And later, our high school analyst, Garrett Luft, he doesn't have a Speedo either. He'll break down Coronado's win over the Sandies and take a look at what's coming in round 2 of the playoffs.
And New Deal had a tough test against Olton in the first round. The Lions, will they roar against the Mustangs? That's next on Fox 34 Football Friday.
You're watching Fox 34 Football Friday with Rob Verby, Kurt Kaiser, and Brady King. Fox 34 Football Friday. First and most comprehensive. This is Fox 34 Football Friday.
And we welcome you back to Football Friday. Still more games to show, Rob Verby.
That's right. There's been a lot of playoff games in our area. We like that, but some of our postseason teams are on the road. Roosevelt heading up to Spearman, a gentleman's handshake.
Best of luck to you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's good to have. The Eagles off to a very rough start, dropping the opening kickoff. That gives Spearman an easy score right there, 6-0. Next drive, the Eagles claw their way back. Jacob Torres will go inside, then swing to the sideline, toss for the stop. That gets them in striking distance. Torres again punches it in, 8-6. Spearman on top. They'd carry it for the rest of the game. Roosevelt unable to handle the offense. The Lynx with Lynx to the next round. 63-34 was the final.
All right, Seminole heading down to Midland to take on Greenwood. Early on, it was River Powers darting this one right across the middle to Abram Flores. PAT was no good. It was 6-0. Seminole on top. Right after that, it was all Greenwood. Ty Flowers would hit his man Isaiah Ramirez to take the lead. The Indians were struggling to come back. Late in the half, River Powers, once again, I love that name. This one is tipped. Here it is. And then tipped again.
Oh, wow.
And then it is picked off by Troy Cross. Greenwood storming away with this one. 50-20 was the final.
All righty, the real deal, New Deal, taking on Olton out in Levelland last night. Mustangs quarterback Jack Alcorn finds Israel Santillan for the big gain right here. There it is. That's a big gain. All righty. A few plays later, Alcorn, he's going to take matters into his own hands, and he's going to take it in himself. Olton on top, 8-0. The 2-point conversion was bueno. New Deal not happy, but they would roar back. Harley Patterson rips one out to Kyler Reed for the score. I love it when they rip one out.
Well, me too.
They'd force a turnover and score again. This time, Slade Martin getting in on the action, 14-8 Lions. Mustangs weren't done though. Aldo Vasquez on the direct snap, gallops into the end zone. It was a back and forth battle, but the Mustangs outrun the Lions. 35-33 was the final.
Wow, close one there. SHALLOWATER hosting River Road at the Athletic Booster Club and this week's concession champ, Cheese Pizza. Yeah, shades of Home Alone. Mustangs defense, they set up a Home Alone trap right here. Braxton Barrett and Mason Eaker with the third down stop. Great play with the D. That takes the wind out of the woodwind section. Future Phillies like what they see, you see.
There they are.
There they are.
Future,
There's the
right
future
there.
Phillies, yeah. The first half, the Bax Townsend show. He walks it into the spotlight for the second of 4 times, all before recess. It's up for sale, the merchandise for the Mustangs right there, just in time for a much-inspected deep playoff run. Townsend scores again, this time giving the home team a 28-0 lead, just like Steve Young did in Super Bowl 29. SHALLOWATER fires on all cylinders. Mustangs win it easy, 58-7.
You want a hat? I'll get you a hat tonight.
Okay, would you? I'd appreciate
that. I would,
that.
yeah.
Thank
they're
you.
$5.99.
Okay.
All right, Pecos Eagles visiting the Estacada Matadors. Zeke Saldana flies down the field for the big gain. The drive would stall, though. Next drive, good old Jalen Dobbins finds Detre Vian. And, well, he's on his way to the end zone, or so he thinks. He gets caught from behind and fumbles. Pecos would recover, as Jeff Klotzman once said. Who's going to Pecos? It would be all Matadors after that, though. TJ Steele, ooh, shifty, dodges defenders as he races down the field. Next play, Kurt Antoine Joan fakes out the photog. Jake, you're fired again. Sorry, Mr. Archer. And takes it from 30 yards out for the score. Matadors mash the Eagles 48-6. All righty, Coronado kept their undefeated season alive against the Sandies. They did so rather easily. Garrett, at what point are the Mustangs, dare I say, going to be tested? They really haven't been yet.
No, I thought tonight was going to be the night that we'd see that. I guess it'll be Tascosa probably, but this is an Amarillo High team tonight that they just totally dominated, who really probably should have beat Tascosa a week ago. So when you look at the transitive property, I don't see anybody on the schedule right now that really should challenge Coronado. I really worry about Sawyer Robertson. Only threw for 330 yards in the first half tonight, and he had 8 incompletions. So real off night for him. I don't know what they're going to do over there with that. But I think their defense got mad that I said Lubbock High pushed them last week because they didn't give up a score till the very end of the ball game. One of the other scores was on a kickoff return. So I think that defense is just fine.
That Sawyer, he looks like he does everything effortlessly. Yeah. I mean, it's just like too easy.
Hey, Garrett.
Well, and it's up in his head too.
Absolutely. Garrett, a little bit of a shakeup on the 2A bracket last night. OLTON gets that close win over New Deal. How do you think things are going to play out in their next game against Cisco?
Cisco was a very, very tough opponent. They're maybe not as strong as they've been in years past, but I think it's still huge for them. They've been a team that's getting beat up for years and years by New Deal in that old district that they were in together. I think OLTON probably is very pleased to get a win in the playoffs against the New Deal. It's a huge thing for their program. Cisco's going to be a little bit stiffer test, but when you got that kind of momentum, I'd say the Mustangs can just about anything they want to. And who knows what can happen this time of year, especially with weird things going on with people's rosters here in the playoffs because of COVID and other random injuries. I think OLTON's got a chance, but I'm real happy for him. It's a huge win for them to knock off New Deal.
Hey, wasn't that the first time in a while they've beaten New Deal?
Oh, yeah, because they've been district foes for years and years and years. And honestly, I don't remember a time that it's happened. So I don't know the numbers for sure, but it's been a long time. All
right. Appreciate your time. We'll chat with you a little bit later on. Still ahead, Post advancing for a second week in a row due to a forfeit this time. Our Brady King talking with their head coach, Coach Pittman, about the unique situation.
And we'll have more highlights from the first round of the playoffs.
All righty.
Now, back to Fox 34 Football Friday.
And thanks for staying with us tonight. SLATON and BUSHLAND squared off last night at Pirate Stadium.
And that's right, Rob. This one was not even close. Let's pick it up in the second quarter right now. Not a whole lot going on right now for the Tigers last night as they would get a sack right here, though. Defense making a good play, delaying the Falcons for just a little bit. The very next play, it would be Caden Janelle. He would fly through the Tiger defenders with a very nice run right there, finally brought down. And then a little bit later on, it is Coleman Janelle. He's the big brother, as the fans cheer on, finding Clayton Seals, who soars into the end zone. That's what Falcons do. That put the Falcons up 49-0 before the half. They would fly 70-14.
All righty, let's head out to Level Land. Sundown taking on Farwell. The Roughnecks would strike first, a long drive, capped off by a short pass. Carson Boggs would walk it in for the score. Sundown up 7-0, but the Steers would steer back with their own scoring drive. The pass to Coulter Henderson in the corner of the end zone for the score. The point after, though, no good. Sundown still up 7-6, packed house on hand. The good arms on the field were not only ones in the stadium. A little t-shirt toss there. Roughnecks keep rolling down the field again and score with a handoff to E.J. Hernandez. The Steers would try to answer back as their next drive would get some help with this quick pass, run and hurdle by Carlos Castillo.
Yeah.
He'd keep the drive alive. A few plays later, the Roughnecks put an end to the drive, a great broken up catch by Marcos Hernandez. Sundown would go on to win it 34-6. Alrighty, Post moving on in the playoffs via a West Texas High forfeit.
And that is the second game in a row for the Bold Gold. Their first Tahoka forfeited last week due to COVID, crowning Post as the 2A district champs for the third year in a row. And then as Post was preparing for round one of the playoffs, Coach Michael Pittman got a call on Tuesday that West Texas High would forfeit. Post has a perfect record so far, 11-0, outscoring their opponents 520 to 47.
Holy moly!
Holy moly is right. We caught up with Coach Pittman, who says the Bold Gold is chomping at the bit to get back on the field.
It's difficult on the kids. You know, we'd probably come off the field Monday and had our best practice of the year, I thought. You know, really kind of changed their intensity, the speed in practice. Felt really good about it. It's one of those deals, you know, we can talk to the kids about, you know, we can only control what we can control, and you know, we have to refocus and just be ready to move on.
Alrighty, Post will play the winner of Anton and Sands next week.
Yeah.
Kurt, how many kids you have?
Kids, I got 3 kids.
You got 3 kids?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got
All right.
3.
I got none. All right. Moving on. Red Raiders host Baylor tomorrow afternoon. When we come back on the other side, Thomas Leggett on keeping the team motivated to finish strong.
Now, back to Fox 34 Football Friday.
Well, the Red Raiders only have 3 regular season games remaining.
And for some of the seniors on the roster, like defensive back Thomas Leggett, who hasn't decided whether or not he'll take the extra year of eligibility granted by the NCAA, time is ticking on what could be his final season. In today's press conference, Leggett seemed confident in his team's sense of urgency to get things rolling.
We're going to leave y'all with 3 wins, and that's our plan. I mean, it's all about finishing around here, and that's what we want to do. And, you know, as a defense, offense, special teams, whatever it is, I mean, we want to put our best foot forward. So, you know, I'm always trying to motivate the guys, you know, let's just finish out and, you know, continue to play. And I don't think anybody's laid down yet or put their head down. You know, we're still pushing each and every single week, and I hope, you know, we continue to do that for these last 3 games.
I like the hair, first of all.
I like the hair.
I'm very envious of that.
And I like the attitude. You know,
I
Rob,
do too,
that's
yeah.
what this team needs right now. They need to focus. They can't lay down. 3 games is a lot of season left, you know.
Well, yeah, when you're only playing 10 especially.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, Kurt, I think the sign of a team and whether they really like the coaching staff is how they play down the stretch when there's not much to play for.
Right.
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're not going bowling,
No.
and they'll be lucky to finish 5-5 because they have Oklahoma State looming in Stillwater. But starting tomorrow against Baylor, I think this team can get the job done. I mean, the Bears have an experienced quarterback in Charlie Brewer, but they're missing one of their key running backs. They're missing a key guy on the defensive side of the ball. And I think if the offensive line, Kurt, perhaps protects whoever's at quarterback tomorrow a little better than last week, albeit against a very good TCU defense, maybe you can see plays like that a lot more. It was a slow start last week, and it was a game that finished real poorly, considering, you know, what happened at the end of that game.
Right.
But I thought the Red Raiders showed some life last week, especially in the second half, and I thought the defenses played pretty well. With that said, there are rumors, Kurt, that we might see Alan Bowman tomorrow along with Henry Colombi. Usually, most coaches aren't big fans of playing more than one quarterback.
Right.
But in this case, what do you have to lose?
You have nothing to lose at all.
Yeah.
You know, you get something a little bit different in there, and I think it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yep. All right, time for one more break. On the other side, we recap scores from across the South Plains and check in with Garrett Luff one more time for next week's Game of the Week.
First and most comprehensive. This is Fox 34 Football Friday.
Alrighty, time to get to some games we did not catch. We apologize. Wichita Falls Rider blanks Plainview 49-zip. Sweetwater takes it to the Lobos. Levelland Falls 69-24.
Anton takes it to Sands tonight. The Bulldogs winning that one 63-18. Smyre with its best season in years. They went over Seagraves tonight 40-21.
And the Mustangs survive another paper challenge. Dustin Goff. What is that?
Dusting off Amarillo.
Oh, dusting.
High,
There's another one of those
Very
teleprompter
confusing,
things.
yeah.
It breaks up in the middle of the word. Dusting off Amarillo, 45-13. Another devastating loss for Lubbock High. PD sneaks out with the win at Bivens, 27-20. What is dust? Yeah, okay.
You're going to learn all these prompter things now.
And no one knows what we're talking about.
No,
That's
no.
fine. All right.
Hey, Matadors had a rough start to the season, but starting to look like a playoff team just in time, Rob.
I think so. Garrett, looking ahead to next week, what's your pick for the game of the week in the second round of the playoffs?
Well, we can go with what you've got there with the Matadors. They're going to face the winner of Iowa Park and Sanger. That game is not till tomorrow night at the Star in Frisco. So Jerry World Light out there is where that one will be played. So I'm sure the Mats coaches will be out there watching that one. I think that's a huge chance to whoever wins that one for Estacado to kind of set up a nice little run for themselves. The rest of their bracket doesn't really scare you. this looks like the toughest matchup for them for a little bit. So TJ Steele, Jalen Dobbins, that connection has gotten very, very firm over the last few weeks. And last night they had no trouble finding ways to get TJ Steele the ball for a whole bunch of yards and a whole bunch of points. So I think Coach Cooley's got them about set up. Now, a big game in 5A, excuse me, is going to be Monterey-Tascosa. If Monterey wants to stay in a district title hunt and have a chance on the day after Thanksgiving to knock off Coronado and share the gold ball, they're going to have to beat Tascosa first. That game will be next Friday night. And I think the Plainsmen haven't really proved it against anybody of worth yet. This will be their first chance to really to possibly kind of get over the hump against a good team.
All right, I like the family portrait behind you.
Very nice.
Looks real
by
good.
the way, Dustin Goff is going to be the third-string quarterback that'll probably play tomorrow for Tech.
All right, and he's going to dust it off, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right, so long, everybody.